I'm Tisha.
I'm Loren.
And this is the Open Booked podcast. Today, we are talking about the one and only Brimstone by Callie Hart. But first, what have you read this week and what are you reading now, if anything?
Yeah, currently, nothing. Just finished Brimstone a couple of hours ago. I know you finished like less than 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So we're fresh coming off this. I did read a couple of books this week. I read, what's it called? Fall I Want. It was my last fall read. I've decided I'm fully moving to Christmas after that. And I finished The Temple of Swoon. I think I've talked about that one a couple times. So I finished 2 paper books this week, which is big. Mm-hmm. And then I did a full Quicksilver reread, the Quicksilver bonus chapters reread, plus Brimstone. So this has been a really productive week for me. What about you?
Same. Got a little bit further in that Buffalo Hunter book by Stephen Graham Jones. And it's pretty interesting, but I was like, if I want to do a Quicksilver reread and the Kingfisher POV, I've got to put this down and stop. So I reread both of those and then jumped into Brimstone, and it's a roller coaster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't wait till we talk about it a little bit more. Are you planning on starting anything besides our book for next week? Are you like so overstimulated from Brimstone that you can't even think about it right now?
Yes and no. Like, I'm really overstimulated, but also I have 7 days until Dungeon Crawler Carl expires on Libby. So I'm going to try to read that and see how that goes, because Macy swears we have to read it.
Yes.
And it's monster smut, right?
Yeah. I don't know if it's smut because I feel like it's young adult. So it might just be monsters. Yeah. But Joe Salazar at her event that we went to recommended it as well. So I added it to my TBR. There's like a bunch of them. Yeah, I didn't realize it.
This first one just says the apocalypse will be televised, which isn't that like a big thing for Fallout 2?
Maybe.
Huh. Maybe I'm just combining the two in my mind. But it has like goblins on the front, driving a tank with like the roller, but it's got spikes coming out of it. So, and I just noticed Carl apparently has boxers on with hearts all over them. So I'm so confused.
Okay. Yeah, you'll have to report back because now I'm confused.
Oh, wait. This is a book? That ain't gonna happen. I can't.
You're like, no, it's not audio. Get out of here.
Yeah, we're gonna return this. Yeah, I don't have the mentality for that right now. So we'll just return that. Just disregard everything about Dungeon Crawler Carl for now. We will revisit that when the audio is available.
I think I might start this book.
Okay. That looks cute.
It looks cute, and it has a trigger warning page right off the bat, so you know it's gonna be good. Not like trigger warnings, but like it's for adult readers and has explicit language and on-page sexual content. So okay. I was like,
check.
Okay, check. Here I am. I've also like aligned all my Christmas books over here, and I'm gonna try to get through as many as I can.
Okay.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. We'll see. I'm sure I'll have a ton of audios, but I'm thinking I'm going to try to jump into that because our book next week I have only on paper, so I'm going to have to really hammer down unless I end up buying. I don't even know if there is an audio.
I don't either, which if not, I might be in trouble because we are making the turkey, and I do this every year, and I'm like, I'll just make a bunch of desserts because I'm just like in the festive mood. I love it, but then I get off work and I'm like, I just want to veg out.
Yeah. No, luckily this year we always deep fry the turkey, which by the way, I know this will be after Thanksgiving when this comes out, but listeners, we are recording this 4 days before Thanksgiving. So we always deep fry the turkey, which luckily is just making it like juicing it up the night before and then dropping it in the day of, so it's not as hard. But then I usually do all the pies. So Wednesday is usually a bake day for me, but this year we decided there's less people, so I'm just gonna make 2 pies, which will just be done Wednesday night because I have to work Wednesday. So I kind of am a
Nice.
lighter this year than usual, so I feel for you.
Yeah. I'm excited for next week's book, though.
Me too. Especially having read her other, like, 'Tis the Season for Revenge, it was spicy. So it's gonna be like a little change, a palate cleanser from Brimstone and fantasy and all that.
Yes. So there is audio, but it is not available on Libby. Oh, and there are two books called Big Nick Energy, one by Kristen Bailey and the other by Morgan Elizabeth, which we're doing Morgan Elizabeth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yes.
Is it on Spotify? Has been having a great selection lately. I know we've talked about this on the pod, but there's like brand new books coming out and eligible for free on Spotify with premium member. You get like so many hours a month, but if you listen any higher than one, you can get probably 2 books in a month.
Hmm. I love that as soon as I finish Brimstone, it says related books and it's alchemized.
Yeah, included in premium from Podium Audio, Big Nick Energy, Morgan Elizabeth. So it's on Spotify if you have time left or anything.
I don't. I don't do Spotify Premium, but it is on sale on Audible for $5.99 for 7 more days.
Okay, that's a good deal too. Okay, exciting. In case you guys didn't catch that, we're covering Big Nick Energy by Morgan Elizabeth next week. So we'll be back to Loren wearing Christmas pajamas or attire. Okay, updates. There's a lot. Are the highlights the ones we need to
Yeah, I
that
think
we
so.
haven't talked about? Okay, I'll let you run through those if you want.
Okay. These are just the ones releasing the first week of December, new books. But I think if they have a good cover or if I've seen them mentioned anywhere else. So these are just the ones that are like the most popular. Snake Eater by T. Kingfisher. Everybody knows who that is. Releases December 1st. That is a fantasy. The Kill Clause by Lisa Unger. This one looks really, really good. It's a mystery and thriller. Tender Cruelty by Katie Robert. She did one of the minis in one of the series that we've read. That's a romantasy.
Ooh,
The Lost Heiress by Elizabeth Kleefoth, also mystery and thriller. Barbie Land. This is the unauthorized history of Barbie. So, with the popularity of the Barbie movie, I'm sure that's kind of where this came from.
unauthorized.
Yes. So I
Okay.
feel like it's going to be like the nitty gritty, like the bad stuff that we shouldn't know as the public or
Mm-hmm.
consumers. That is a biography by Tarpley Hitt. Also, that one's December 2nd. Um, then there's Always Next Year by Leah and George Johnson, December 2nd. That is a YA romance. Intergalactic Waste Management. This one looks hilarious. It's a sci fi,
Okay.
but it's by Ash Bishop, comes out December 2nd. The Bodyguard Affair by Amy Lee, romance. The Mating Game by Alana Ferguson, romance. Sweet Venom by Rena Kent. Everybody knows who that is too. A dark romance. Love Me, Stalk Me. I've seen this one everywhere by Laura
Yeah.
Bishop. Also dark romance. Persephone's Curse by Katrina Leno or Leno. Not sure if that's any relation to Jay,
Could be.
but I saw this one advertised, I think, in the Barnes and Noble like email that I get for like books coming out. It's a YA fantasy. Sparks Fly by Zakiya Jamal, December 2nd. That's a romance. It looks really good. It has a cute cover. The Library of Fates by Margot Harrison, fantasy. Crown Tide, which is, I think, the third or fourth even in the series, fifth.
There is Lightlark, Nightbane, Skyshade, and then there's the Grim and Oro dueling, and
Yeah, yeah.
then this. So
And
that
then
may be
Crown
like
Tide.
a 3.5, and then Crown Tide. I'm
Okay.
not sure if that's a half, but she does have 4 books out in this series, whatever the order may be.
Jeez,
Yeah, and she's
girl
busted them
be
out in like
releasing
two
them like
years.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's a
Uh,
workhorse, man. Big
Oh,
respect.
for sure. In case you missed it, that's Alex Astor. That is a romantasy, of course. The Last Hitman by Robin Yoakum, mystery and thriller. A Grim Reaper's Guide to Cheating Death. This one looks really fun and mysterious. This is, I think, the second in, it's called the Scythe series by Maxi Dara. December 6th. And that is it. There are lots of others, but of course, am at like number 120 on the top 200 list, and it's 2 pages worth, like 2.5 pages worth. So there is something for everybody.
Honestly.
And again, I will link our all things book Google Doc so that you can see for yourself and explore what fits your reading vibe at the time, because as you can tell, ours changes daily and weekly.
Yeah. Sometimes we get on little tears, as I like to call it, where we're like, okay, we're gonna do like 5 romantasy series that rip out our hearts. Yeah, something fun I thought we could do this year is like our last episode of the year, pick our favorite read from each genre.
Oh,
Or like
gosh.
top 3. That'll be hard.
Yeah.
Our favorite will be hard, so maybe like a top 2 or 3 of what we've covered. I already have my romantasies picked out just because I'm constantly always stacking them up in my brain. But I think romance and thriller would be really hard.
Yeah.
And I thought it might be fun.
Yeah. With like the voting and the wrap ups all starting to come out, I've been thinking about that stuff too. So I'm like, I don't even know where to start. Like just scrolling through my year, and I'm like, that was so good. Hold on, I don't remember what happened there, but I know I liked it.
Yeah. And there are some books that I've read years ago that stay with me. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I have a coworker who's just getting into reading, and she just finished Verity and then Ugly Love. Like those were her first, and I'm like, those are both great, like great picks.
Mm-hmm.
Then she started asking me, "Have you read this? Have you read this?" And I was just so impressed with what I remembered. And she said The Silent Patient, and I'm like, Alex Michaelides, that lives rent free in my head. Yeah. Anything written by Alex Michaelides, read, okay? But also, I read that in probably 2022, and I still remember. And it's just so funny how some books like will just, you hear it, you know, the author, you know when you finished it, you know the room you were in, and it just sticks with you. And I just think those are the books that are the ones that deserve, like, okay, at the end of the year, this book stood out in the wave of hundreds. I mean, I'm at 115 for the year, you're at 1,000. If it stood out in 100 books, that's the one, you know?
Yeah.
Guess what book I'm specifically thinking of this year standing out in the 100?
For sure, Onyx Storm.
Yeah, that's one of them.
Shield of Sparrows.
Yeah, that was the one I was thinking of. You knew it. I talk about that book every day, okay? Like, literally every day.
Yeah.
So
we're definitely
unique.
Fangirls.
Mm-hmm. We love you, Devney Perry, honestly. Okay, do we want to get into Brimstone?
Yeah. Let's just cut the wound open.
Pour salt in it because it's still open for much just finishing. Spoilers, guys. Big spoilers. We understand this book just came out. We are going to talk about everything. So if you have only read Quicksilver, or you've only read the Kingfisher POV, if that's all you've read, please go away and come back, because we are going to talk. And I don't think this is going to be a dissecting episode. This is a very, we're talking about our recent trauma. Okay, so spoilers. All things Fan Alchemy series. All right. What'd you think?
I don't know. I don't know what to think, because like even rereading Quicksilver, I was like, I missed or just didn't understand or absorb. I don't know. Like there was so much more in this second read. I was like, what the fuck? So I feel like it's going to be the same for Brimstone when we inevitably do a reread before the next one comes out, just to refresh and pick up all those little pieces, because there is so much detail. And I have more questions than answers.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think we are notoriously not Quicksilver stance.
Yeah.
So for everybody following our socials that's like listen to us do our episode on Quicksilver, for us being excited about it, you guys are probably like, what the fuck is wrong? Because you guys talk so much shit. Here's the deal. Just because we weren't like the biggest fans didn't mean we weren't fans. It just meant that there's so much competition this year.
Mhm.
So many good romanticies came out this year and last year, and probably next year. I already have 10 freaking pre-orders when I was looking through my Amazon. So like
Yeah.
next year's gonna be a really, really big year.
Yeah.
And it was just really competitive. And of all of them, this one had the unfortunate of following Onyx Storm. And we said that over and over again. I will say in my reread, I still had some of the same frustrations, and I think you did as well.
Oh, yeah.
But hot take, I liked Brimstone way better than Quicksilver, and it might be redeeming this series for me.
Yeah, I can see it. I got so frustrated in my re-listen of Quicksilver. I was like, I don't think we were that hard on it the first time. Like, I think we could have been harder on it. Honestly, like we gave it a lot of grace, but yeah, I was not a fan all the way through. I was like, she's fucking annoying. Why? And I'm usually an FMC like supporter, and this one I just could not the first time or the second time. So in the first book. So
Say of all of the characters in Brimstone, my favorite thing was we actually got to learn about the characters more.
mhm.
I think in the first book it was very much like, okay, here's these like 100 people. And that's
Mhm.
why it was so hard for me, even with the reread coming back and being like, okay, who's this person? Who's this person? Me Googling, who is Taladeus? Like, those
Mhm.
sort of things. I was like, it's because we got introduced at one time to so many characters and didn't learn their backstories or their full stories, really. So we didn't
Mhm.
form like any sort of, okay, that's that person. That's like, we got that in Brimstone. I think
Yeah.
we did. I think I can remember the characters quite a bit better, but
Mhm.
I felt like in Quicksilver, the world building, not it just didn't work well with my brain. And other
Yeah.
people are obsessed with this book, so I'm very much aware it could be a me. Like the way that it was delivered, I had a hard time like sticking, if that makes sense. Like grasping, okay,
Yeah.
this. Also, the first cover. I'm a judge a book by a cover person. Sorry everyone, people love it. I hate the first cover. I purposefully read it and did not buy the book because I hated the first cover. I waited until these editions came out and bought it so that it would match this because I couldn't stand it. And that's a personal preference. I'm aware of that as well. But if I see a book that looks like that, I don't read it as quick, which we were late to the Quicksilver game. We read it
Yeah.
much later. But the biggest takeaway from this book for me was the character development, world building, especially with Saris. You were talking about you being an FMC supporter. I'm an FMC hater. I just am.
Yeah.
I just am. My husband and I got into a heated argument the other night about Violet Sorrengail versus Aelin Galathinius, and maybe we can throw Saris in there now because
Yeah.
she wasn't even in the conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like we're talking about FMCs here. There's like a list of greats, right? And in my
Yeah.
opinion, Aelin is the pinnacle of a strong FMC, and now she really came into her own.
Mhm.
She got some confidence. She's starting to learn how to use her gifts. I loved her journey on this in this book, and I'm not a fan of her character, and I liked it in this book.
Yeah. I also want to mention just because I had this conversation with like three different people. I don't know if it's because we read it so quickly or it's been over a year for some people. Like a lot of people were watching videos or looking up what happened in Quicksilver, and that information was so wrong or it just didn't stick with anybody. Everybody was like, do I have amnesia? Because I don't remember any of this from the first read. Like it just didn't stick with so many people. And like you said, it could be because there was so much kind of thrown at us, just like bits and pieces, or it just could be that a lot of people had the privilege of like bigger fantasy series reading them all at once.
Mm-hmm.
So we just get all of that information. So I think in 5, 10 years, when people are reading the whole series at once, it'll be a completely different experience for them because we're not getting that. We're getting bits and pieces at a time and having to grow with these characters. And honestly, I'm not a fan. Like, it sucks.
Yeah. We will talk about this until we're blue in the face, but we have some serious trauma from this year. And I think this just added to it. I don't think we're going to have any more this year though. With our list for the rest of the year, we have nothing but fun, cheesy rom-coms. So,
hopefully
Christmas rom-coms.
Yeah.
Now, after that, we have a couple on the agenda that we don't know what the fate holds for us. The fates, if you will.
Yes.
Okay, number 1, my favorite character now is Carrion Swift.
Same. Loved him.
He's so arrogant. He's so jokester. It's the comedy that gets you going through the dark times. He is the Riddick of this book.
Yeah.
And I have a list of similarities to Fourth Wing, and I forgot to put that on there. But this is number 1. Carrion is the Riddick of this series. And Cassian, without being badass. Yeah. Just the comedy part. Should we talk about I saw your Carrion notes and I died laughing. Go ahead, say it.
Just the way he very poorly but accurately described to Hayden what's happened to his sister. Like, from the moment she walked away in the guard's hands to now. It's been a long time, too.
Yeah, and Fisher's like, I don't have the energy for this, Carrion, handle it. And he's like, well, he tricked her into a bargain. Honestly, the little brother is a little fucking shit. I can't stand him. Just let him die in the desert. I'm sorry, he's terrible. He's like...
As soon as he said that he thought she was, whatever, for the queen, or whoever she is, I can't even remember now.
Madra or whatever.
Yeah. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? You spoiled little shit. Like, I'd have punched his lights out and just not even thought twice about him.
I'm glad she did. Yep. Send him back to the desert without me crawling through a sewer to get your water rations, bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh. No, my other one that you put in the note that I died about was, I like your horns.
Yes.
I died at that part. I could not.
And even her reaction, she's like, there are historians out there, and they're going to write about when this prince returns to accept the throne or like run his kingdom, and they're going to say, I like your horns. That was the first statement he made to his people. Like, what?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Carrion in this book, I already kind of liked him from the first book, just as a side character. But in this book, really liked him. Anyways, I think the third book, this is some predictions, he's going to take the throne. I hope so. Because that was they're like building up for that in this book. We want to just dive right into the ending because I feel like I need to talk about it. We want to talk about some other things.
I just realized we didn't read the blurb.
You want me to read it real quick? Better late than never?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it on the back? Nope. Okay. I gotta scoot so that my microphone can be visible. Also,
ooh,
here's Carrion. I just know by the red hair.
Yep.
Oh, it's Onyx!
Oh.
With a butterfly! Yes, we've both cried today.
Yes.
Leave us alone. Okay. Sarah's Fane doesn't want power. The very last thing she needs is to have her name whispered on an entire court's lips. But now that she's been crowned Queen of the Blood Court, she's discovering that a queen's life is not her own. A heavy weight rests upon her shoulders. Her ward and her brother need her back in her homeland. But the changes that have strengthened Ceres have also made her weak. Born under blazing sun, Ceres will surely die if she makes her way home through the Quicksilver, which means that once again she must send someone else in her stead. Interesting blurb for what happens in this book.
Yeah.
So that's about 1/10 of the book is Fisher and Carrion going to get her brother and to her
Yeah.
homeland. We did get a really great smut scene from that, though.
Yeah.
We both mentioned it in our notes. So, also, I was driving for chapter 7 and chapter 20, and I kept turning around and looking and making sure no one was in the back seat. I'd pull up at a red light and I'd turn it down just in case someone could hear. Like, I'm getting judged hardcore right now. Yeah, okay, the Blood Court and her ruling was probably a battle through most of this book.
Mm-hmm.
Until the vampire party. That's what I'm calling it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that was the beginning of the end.
Mm-hmm. That's when it started to go to shit.
Yeah, it was like the climax to just like everything.
Yeah, and I will say I'm very glad I re-listened to the Quicksilver bonus scenes because of that guy that they pick up in the Blood Court. He was mentioned, I can't remember his name right now, but he was mentioned in the bonus scenes from Kingfisher's point of view.
Mm-hmm.
Tully? The guy who was a part of the wolf pack that turned vampire and was living in the library.
Luther? Lorith?
No, not Lorith. He's the...
Yeah.
It's Tully or something. Tully? Foley?
Foley. Yeah.
Foley. I know I was getting close. Okay, Foley. Because he's mentioned in there about how he had to turn to survive and then wouldn't talk to any of them. And then we find out the reason he wasn't getting any letters is because that fucking bitch at the vampire court was keeping them. I loved her. Okay, Sarah's 2 moments in this book where I was like, pop off queen. The moment there about the missives, and then the other moment where she was asking not Danica, Danya to knock her out right before. Badass, pop off. Those two fucking bitches.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I read those because it made me think, okay, I know who this guy is. Because if I wouldn't have, I would have been like, who the fuck is this guy? They're talking about him like an old friend. He's trying to kill her. Anyways, I'm glad I heard that. The biggest revelations in this book, top 3 things that surprised me were 1, the mom coming through the sister's body in chapter 9.
Yeah.
That was the first moment I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it was
and
wild.
Then when she's saying those names and Fisher walks in and is like, why are you saying my mom's name?
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. 2, the vampire party, where it was pretty much drink the Kool-Aid, if you will. And
yeah.
3, the ending. Those were the 3 moments where I was like, what the?
Yeah, it was a lot.
I thought Taladeus was bad for a second. Like, I didn't realize was grieving so much. I just thought he was having, like, mass orgies, living his best vampire life. Like, I didn't realize the amount of hurt he was in and how close him and Fisher actually were. I think I was shocked at the beginning of the book, or really at the end of Quicksilver, when he, like, saved her and wasn't bad. He's, like, the second to the baddest guy in the book. Yeah. And then I'm like, oh, the backstory is he turned to be with this girl, and this girl don't give a fuck about him. Like, it's really sad, his story.
Yeah. Yeah, I was really confused at the end of Quicksilver about who he was and what was happening. And it didn't help going in, like, straight into Brimstone, but it all made sense about 5 chapters in. I was like, okay, I can kind of follow and see what's happening here.
Yeah. The other thing about the vampire party was I was kind of shocked Foley being like denounced vampire didn't see what they did and then take the cure. Which the mom's book, which we haven't even talked about that yet, told them not to. Like for the path needed to. But they didn't know that because she read that page too late. But I was very surprised by the little paper birds book situation. I thought that was a really, really interesting concept, and I appreciated that the mom, this goes back to the first big revelation, the mom coming through the daughter and saying, like, you have to find this book and don't show Fisher, but then she shows Fisher and it says, like, give the book back. I was like, that was weird, but it was like a test, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of intriguing, but also kind of shitty
Mhm.
to immediately test your future daughter-in-law that you've known was part of the story for ages.
Yeah.
So you should have known she was worthy and she would do it. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I also thought it was super weird about the whole marriage thing, but then when they talked about the names, it all made sense. I
Mm-hmm.
knew when the sprites freaked out about that ornament that his name was in that ornament. I knew it. That ornament had some sort of significance. And then when
Mm-hmm.
she had to go back to get that piece of paper and then ultimately learned his name and whatnot, like it all came together. But I was like, they're going to have to use his name somehow. Like,
Yeah.
that is too significant of a plot line throughout this
Yeah.
entire book. Like, the name's important.
I really thought once she used it and then the guy turned around, he was like, let me see if I remember this, and then tried to use it. I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
And then Fisher was like, I'm sorry. I
That
was like,
was good.
no.
That was a Twilight Carlisle head moment right there, if you know what I'm talking about. You just had to be there in 2008 or whenever that was.
I was like, whew.
Yeah.
She's thinking 7 steps ahead, but man, I was scared for a minute.
Yeah, I was too. I was like, shit, she can't take Fisher. Hell no. But I was impressed that his sword worked for her. That just showed like the mating, god binding, like next level that they have bond. Somebody on Reddit was like, mate's been used 18 times and I'm in chapter 3.
Yeah, it was a lot.
It was a lot. I feel like that's almost every fantasy book ever, though, so I'm not really like. It is what it is with fantasy. They're going to be fated mates of some sort. They're going to be able to talk through the mind or some sort of bond like that, and that's just part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's talk about the ending. This is my note. He's dot 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 dot. What exactly? He says, fetch our father to this guy.
Yeah.
So, his dad, his real dad, that could do the shadows to that gave him his gift, is like the king of hell? Because he said, I call it hell.
Yeah.
And he's come for a dragon.
Yeah.
So he needs a dragon that breathes brimstone to kill the rot? Is that what you
Yeah.
got out of it?
Yeah. But also, like, before any of that, like at the very beginning of the chapter, he's like, I hate dragons.
Yeah.
Like, it's a whole chapter on its own. It's just like one sentence, I hate
Fucking
dragons. And I was
hate
like,
dragons.
yeah.
Because
Like,
it reminded me of I hate sewing.
yeah.
Yes, it was. It was a chapter on its own. You're right. So,
I feel like that's significant.
it's significant. I wonder if there's a bonding thing like Fourth Wing, or if it's just you just grab one, or like Game of Thrones. I don't know.
Yeah.
It will be interesting to find out. The whole, you know what, and the symbolism throughout the book is there for the dragons. She's mentioning
Mm-hmm.
it several times about the skull, Belicon having the skull. They walk past the body of the dragon. Then they talk about this gate that goes
Mm-hmm.
between worlds that Fisher got thrown into when he was 11. And it would make sense as to why he came out, because it was his dad, to his dad's realm. His stepdad tried to kill him by sending him through a gate that took him to his dad's realm. Which would also explain why the gods would have given him that sword, maybe? Like, did his dad come to the normal realm to breed his mother and then fake his death to go back to hell? So that the mother could end up here because she foresaw all this with her oracle skills. I mean, my questions are just rapid firing at this point.
Yeah. I don't even know. I feel like that makes the most sense, but I feel like anything that we can think up in our minds is going to be completely picked apart and rewritten in the next book. And we're going to be like, oh, I mean, that makes sense, but also, what the fuck?
Yeah. Also, the fact he couldn't tell her because he had been trained to put blocks around his mind. You would have thought that when he's training her or they had any downtime, which this book, there's not much downtime, but
Mhm.
he would have been teaching her to do mental blocks and wards and such as well, especially since that old hag at the vampire court had like tried to infiltrate her mind. It showed the first time she got in, the second time she pushed her away. So she was learning how to put blocks on her mind. But I don't know, did she
Yeah.
just figure that out herself or did somebody teach her?
Huh. I feel
She
like there was
blocks
a
her out.
part where someone mentioned it would be important. I don't know if that was in the book from the mom or what.
Yeah.
Hmm.
They can only stay in there 2 hours. So, with everything they've been through, it's probably safe to say they've been in there an hour or like 30 minutes at least.
Yeah.
So, but that's also the thing. The girl was like so insulted. The guard, the keeper of the gate or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
that he killed one of her kids, the dragon, because he'd killed the last dragon. And then he knew who her master was. He said his name.
Mm-hmm.
The master's also his dad, right?
Yeah, I'm
Or
getting
is there
more
multiple
confused.
people? Yeah. I think we need to decompress, simmer,
Yeah.
ponder, all the
Yeah, I
things.
feel like I need to re-listen to all of it.
Yeah.
But it's I don't know. There's just so much to it and so much information.
Wonder if Emma's finished it yet and did like a breakdown with tabs because we could watch that. That'll help.
Yeah.
Most people will probably wait a week or so. Like fantasy
Mm-hmm.
fangirls will do something too. That always helps me when I have all these
Mm-hmm.
rapid fire questions. Going and just listening to other people have the same questions makes me feel justified.
Yeah.
And then I like listening to theories after that. Like, of course, I come up with my own, and then I hear others, and I think they're good, and then, it's. I think that's the only healthy response to finishing a romantasy book with a cliffhanger.
Yeah. I think it was really interesting the way the mom obviously gave him his real name, but they gave him this Kingfisher name, which really meant something else. And I've
Mm-hmm.
already forgotten what it actually means.
Stargazing,
Yeah, the
like a sign of
Kingfisher
hope.
itself. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Was hope. So, like, he's the great hope of their everything, their realm, their kingdom. Who knows at this point?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to need some days to
Mm-hmm.
just wrap my mind around this. It's a lot.
Yeah. I agree. At a loss.
Yeah, I can't even. Like, I'm still
Yeah.
fucking Carrie. I like your horror.
I
It's
like
like,
your horns. That's gonna be our thing now. We're just gonna be like, I like your horns.
one complaint I had and have in a lot of fantasy books is why are we given one name for a person at the beginning of a story and then a book or two or three in their entire identity changes. Who the fuck is this person? And why are we just now learning about all of this and their history? So then we have to learn all of the details and information about who this person really is because they've been living as this other person for their entire lives. What the fuck? It's hard enough to
Yeah.
remember names as it is. And then you want to give one person two or three or a nickname. Like his name's Kingfisher, but she calls him Fisher. Her name's Saris, but he calls her Osha.
Mm-hmm.
And then is she going to end up having another name too? Given to her by who knows? The
Probably.
Fae, his mom, or are they going to find out she's like a second queen of a third kingdom? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I agree with that. Take notes from Carrion. He found out his true name, and everyone still calls him Carrion. So, true identity, we're going by the same name.
Yeah. I can't.
Yeah, I agree with that. I second that.
Stop changing the identity of a person. Just let them be a person.
Mm-hmm. Yep, love it.
Okay. Are we done with that
Yeah,
trauma?
I think we need to go cry now.
Yeah. Cry and decompress.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe re-listen to a few chapters. Try to
Yep,
detangle them in our mind.
yep. At least the last couple for sure.
Yeah. Ugh. Okay. I think that's all we have for Brimstone. Next week, as we mentioned, is Big Nick Energy by Morgan Elizabeth. So go read that to follow along as we get into the full Christmas spirit. And then I think that's it. Go check out our website, go follow us on socials, buy some merch, and check out the huge long list of books coming out in December. I'll soon start working on January and more movies coming out. Yeah, that's it. And we will talk to you guys later.
Bye.